This academy is organized in 2025, and I think there's global recognition that conflict is on the rise. There's international conflict, there's internal conflict, there is trade conflict, digital conflict. So we're living in an increasingly conflictual world, and businesses are increasingly connected to these situations. And I would say the probability that a student from HEC ends up in a company that is loosely related to these situations is actually quite high. And either we help students navigate these issues, or we just send them in the labor market with no guidance on these topics. So that's really the critical role of the academy. My name is Charles Othman, and I'm the academic director of the Business and Peace Academy. The objective is to try to work with students on the nexus between business, economic activity by public and private actors, peace, which is a relatively large and sometimes misunderstood concept, and also conflict, because there's a lot of guidance and frameworks around how businesses should behave in conflict-affected areas or in post-conflict situations. There's been a lot of frameworks because there's been a lot of conflict and there's a lot of companies, and so there's kind of a historical background to looking at how you should exit, for example, from a situation of conflict, or engage, or should you pay taxes in a country when those taxes can fund a defense or a military operation. And so there's a lot of guidance and a lot of things to learn. And there's also a lot of discussions to be had with students about what should be done. The academy has an entrepreneurial and a research component. Students can either try to think about a specific research question, or they can try to set up a project or help a startup scale its activities on a peace-related issue.
My name is Vicky Bowman. I'm a senior advisor at the Institute for Human Rights and Business, and also I've worked for 10 years as the director for Myanmar Centre for Responsible Business. I've come over here to HEC from London to participate in the Business and Peace Academy, but I've also come to share some of the work that we did in Myanmar in particular, which touches on a number of the topics that the Academy has been talking about.
Hello, my name is Agathe Jallo. I'm a student at HEC in Marseille Management. I did preparatory class before, and I'm also the co-president of HEC Imagine. I chose this academy because it's in line with my commitment to HEC Imagine. So I wanted to pursue my interest in business and peace, with also a field experience, thanks to the week where we went to Red Cross, for example, or we discovered supernova actions. I really enjoyed discovering supernova's action, and also the field experience we had, because the morning the ceasefires was pronounced between Gaza and Israel, we had an urgent meeting to know how supernova could really contribute to helping Gaza in urgent matter, and we had the possibility to share our own ideas on the topic.
I'm Beshta Nazir, an alumni of HEC, specifically HEC Imagine Fellow. And yeah, I had the pleasure to be back on campus to contribute to the jury session of Business and Human Rights Academy. Well, it was nice to be back on campus, but also because I've been part of a similar course, not this academy, but a course on business and human rights last year, and I think I'm so proud of HEC and Charles especially for bringing the topic into a business school at HEC, and making sure that the future leaders are concerned about it, and they know about it, and they are educated about it. So, and I had the opportunity to contribute. So today we had several presentations, some of them focused on Afghanistan specifically, some of them on how companies can integrate refugees, but also some other ideas to help in developing and conflict-affected countries.
It's really important that business leaders across functions, so whether that function is legal, whether it's finance, whether it's procurement, need to be thinking about these issues of conflict-affected areas and how business can both be affected by and have an impact on conflict. So that's why I think it's really important that within business schools, where you've got students who are training for all of those jobs, they should have some sort of exposure to the kind of discussions that we've had today. And the sort of topics that the students here have chosen for their papers, their presentations, were hugely varied. and drew everything from geopolitics down to the very local humanitarian issues and how business could be involved or be impacted by those things. So I think it's good for all people who are going into business to be thinking about these issues, because you will encounter them, and better to do it from a starting point of awareness that you are not alone, that there are good practices to draw on, there are international standards, there are people out there to help you.
I mean, HEC is increasingly working on these issues. Obviously, the HEC Imagine program and the support of the foundation, scholarships for students coming from war-torn countries, but also the involvement of other students, who are not directly affected by war, but who are increasingly being interested in these issues. That's been really critical. And in setting up the academy, we engaged with different actors, the Learning Planet Institute, the French Red Cross, Supernova, the Paris Peace Forum. And so it's really been a collaborative effort, and it's pleasant to see that HEC is kind of playing a pivotal role in bringing people together on these issues.